Hello there. Today we're doing the first of in a long time a commentary about an alternate timeline that I think could have happened. Well, maybe. Basically, the Byzantines survived at least longer, so we'll just see where this goes. Basically, under the reign of Emperor Justinian, Byzantines landed an army in North Africa, and took Carthage. That basically General those areas takes Carthage. The Vandals, the Green, basically just start to collapse. In my opinion, the Byzantines were in a pretty good position here. Ready. So basically, with the Byzantines having a large amount of territory that they were planning to capture, basically Justinian's plan was to restore the Western Empire. Which, sure, he would kind of do in our timeline. We want to make it permanent. So, the Empire gets fully restored, in North Africa at least. So we move on. Invading Sicily. Before eventually they plan on fully destroying the Ostrogoths. Let's say they cross down here. They move into Rome itself and just take the city. They basically just start off by basically seizing small territories. Eventually, Ravenna seized. They launched a small land campaign in Dalmatia, seizing Salona, and then making more landings. At this point, it becomes clear that the Ostrogoths are losing the war. It's in the war because, very simply, the Empire loses territory. So, the Ostrogoths are losing land. The Byzantines launching an even larger campaign in Dalmatia. Ultimately, the war in Dalmatia becomes this side theater to the main battles in Italy. So the Ostrogoths fight back, but they just aren't strong enough to defeat the Byzantines. They're major forces. The Byzantines just kind of stroll up the Italian peninsula. Although it's slow, they do eventually seize territory. Eventually they seize Mediolanum. And they ultimately link up. Just so the Ostrogoths really start to fight back. They seize the north, fight back, and actually lay siege to Ravenna. And actually start really becoming a threat. But this is decently short-lived, as they have to divert forces to fight in Dalmatia. So the Byzantines were really starting to approach Italy. As the Byzantines get closer and closer to full-on victory, seems like it's only a matter of time before the Austro-Gothic kingdom of Italy falls. Italy, Italia by this time, would be within stated distance of Rome's by this time Rome's Dalmatian army. And with the capture of Trieste, those areas is finishing the campaign in the region. Ravenna would be lifted from the siege, but the Ostrogoths would survive for now because the Sassanids attack. Sassanid Persia, the tank, would ultimately attack, and actually do decently well, seizing many of Rome's border forts, eventually even pushing all the way to the sea. Belisarius is recalled to defeat the siege army. Belisarius basically seals the defeat the Persians, but a giant plague starts just like in our timeline, but it's not as big of a deal, to the point where everything just falls apart. Status quo is reestablished, and by this point though, the Ostrogoths have literally already started reclaiming Italy. Besieging Ravenna again. Actually, in fact, they just start sieging Roman forts left and right. Roman forts were getting sieged. Roman forts getting sieged really was a big deal. Because they basically just made their way down the Italian peninsula. Without real trouble. Until they got to, like, the north of Rome. And they had to start surrounding more forts, then surround Rome itself. And then Byzantine control of Italy was basically ruined. But then the Byzantines straight up just start fighting back. On the East finishes at this time. And just before a lot of their forces are surrendering, they just start straight up liberating Italy. They land an army at Ravenna. They push north and Dalmatia once again. This time, they fully link up with the army in Italy. So, the initial plan is to reincorporate Italia as the province. And the plan would be followed through just once these wars end. The Ostrogoths basically lose control over Sardinia and Corsica. And by the end of, I would say, 550, the Empire Get off, Clinton. Get. Or there. It was back to the video. The Ostrogoths will be fully defeated. And yeah, this is the Byzantines. They, let's say, annex these territories. And wait, let me just clean up the map real quick. Alrighty, so this is the map after, and as you can see, we added the Visigoths. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of different names. So the Byzantines want to reclaim Hispania. It's the province. So their plan: walk over here, cross, take. Very simple. They just kind of walk up along the coast and just seize minor territories. Once they get to here, then they start really claiming territory. But then the Visigoths kind of just do their thing and just cut them off, making life a bit more difficult for them. Just a little. But this is fine, because they can literally just hop over from here. By the way, Mare Nostrum, I think, where they just the idea that no one else really can challenge them in that terrain is basically true. Except for the Visigoths, they have a bit of a challenge. So, while they're fighting Hispania throughout the 560s, by like 572, they would probably get a major victory and start actually taking major territories. In my opinion. Hispania is pretty far away from Constantinople and considered an integral part of the empire. Constantinople doesn't really care about this, but they do seize territories. There, but nevertheless, not like 580 or something. They've made some progress. But then they hop over to modern day Lisbon. Lisbon sees that and start making an offensive. So there, take this, and then they just start taking more. In my opinion, for this plan conquest would really end in Hispania like the mid-590s. Besides, Justinian's long dead by this point. So we're taking that territory. Because then the Sassanids start fighting. Narrowly, like, oh, it's too big detail, but basically the Sassanids take everything up to this line. And up to here. And here. Yeah, I know, they took like everything to the east of that. Ooh, big scary. But, arrows come. They start, alright, they're just gonna like erase away the parts that get taken over. They start fighting. They mostly fight the Sassanids though, so they're fine for now. They attack for now, take over the entirety of the Levant. Levant, blah blah blah, this is seized. Egypt holds at the Sinai, because that's where they'll hold for now. And then they just start attacking the Sassanids. Sassanids attempt to fight back, they fail. They start losing more and more territory. They start losing even more and more territory. Byzantines lose a little bit more land. Sassanids basically just start collapsing. Blah blah blah, Cope. Baghdad falls. More territory falls on both sides. They agree to sort of work together, and they would halt the Arabians about here for about 5 seconds. It's because then they start pushing They send a small army all the way up to the Caspian. Do they succeed? Sort of. They reach the Caspian. This doesn't really accomplish much, apart from splitting up the empire. So then he just starts using even more territory. And then Persia dies. Persia slowly starts falling. But, in my opinion, they survive. At least for a bit, but in my opinion, they still die like the 700s. So fast forward to like 725, the Sassanids are definitely dead by now. I know. And the Arab conquest of Egypt goes on. Boop! Egypt's gone. Basically, just take the Nile. Egypt's dead. Not as well the IRA way, you also gotta take like the northern coast. Yeah, now there's nothing left of Egypt. So let's say they take over Egypt, but not the rest of North Africa. So it's like a crisis, but like it could be a lot worse. Speaking of which, invasion of Italy. Yeah. The Lombards invade Italy and basically try to split it off from the empire. They fail miserably. Well, that's good. Anyways, the Umayyads try to, they basically just use them. They send over a fleet right over here. Yeah, they send it literally right here. And then just go over here and try to attack Constantinople. They fail. Then they try again, but from a different direction. The Romans do not expect this, and so lose. These key battles. You might be thinking that this is a pretty big catastrophe, and you'll be right. But most of these losses are actually recovered. It only takes about 2 centuries. Also, by the way, Persia's basically back to its former glory. Yeah. Honestly, definitely you're good. Actually, wait, no. Persia doesn't, fully restore themselves. They're still great power. Just they're not as great of a great power. Basically, the Bulgars start attacking. The Bulgars do things. Then they do bigger things and literally just seize all of modern-day Bulgaria. And then also cut off Constantinople for the rest of the Balkans. And also Italy. Yeah, also more people just cut off Italy. Alright, basically, the empire is, permanently damaged, in a way, because they lose, they defended the Danube border. Basically, the war in Spain is fruitless, so they abandoned Spain by the 1000s. Since they fight more wars with Persia, everything stays the same. Literally. They also fight more Bulgars. By the 1300s, it becomes clear that the empire's on the decline. Also, do not lose all this. The empire is really on the decline here. A major attack comes in the north of the Balkans, which severely weakens the empire, basically permanently. They struggle for years to try to retake this. By 1600, I think the empire would look something like this, with major territory then stripped. Nevertheless, though, Persia doesn't exist in the same form, so just erase that. they also just start losing territory in the east. They lose Syria and the Levant, but they keep Egypt, at least for now. By the 1900s, hopefully it's clear. By 1900 and World War I happens, I feel like they would, in best case scenario, be reduced significantly. Maybe not from Italy, but definitely from most of the Balkans. In my opinion, they would come back during this era. During this era, I think they come back. Not fully, but slightly. They gain like a bit of territory. But their decline is basically set. They hold on in certain parts of the empire. France would colonize Algeria, by the way. But they hold on to Carthage. Because, yes, Carthage holds out. But then the British would colonize Egypt post World War I. And this is basically the death of the empire. The French colonize this, the French take Sardinia. Yeah, this is the empire. World War II happens, Germany happens, and say goodbye to Italy. The Germans go dirt. Italy basically gets stripped straight from the empire until after, when it gets restored to the empire. But not Albania. Albania's too important. And Macedonia and the Bulgarian parts of the empire. Yeah, those split. Also, like, half of Anatolia. Actually, by half I meant all. Except the coasts. Alright. We're already off to a good start. So basically, this is Byzantium in the Cold War. Yeah, pretty bad. It's gonna be a lot worse. They're gonna stop existing like centuries before this, but nope, they're still around. In my opinion, this is where they go. I feel like they would like fight back against Turkey. But they wouldn't win that aggressively to where they like retake all of Anatolia. They definitely wouldn't retake all of Anatolia. They might retake like half of it. Like, this is still like a strong empire. But, I mean, look at it at its peak. There's this. Alright, this has been going on for way too long now. But I think Italy might also become like independent. So we have this version. And this version. Which one's better? Yeah, literally just like, okay, better scenario, worst case scenario. Best case scenario, worst case scenario, to be honest. At least that they still exist. They just become this. So yeah, that's what I think would happen. Bye!